Hello, beautiful people of the internet, of the YouTube. Welcome to another video in The Art of Loving with me, Julia, where we awaken love within us and then begin to create our lives from the awakened essence of the love within us, that essence that is leading us, that is guiding us, that is within us. And that beautiful entry that just flowed out of me, I don't know where that came from, but actually I do know where that came from because that perfectly leads into today's video, which is about moving your consciousness from your head to your heart. And that was a really big journey for me and something I really, really struggled with in the beginning of my journey, and kind of is what propelled me on my journey of self-discovery, on my journey of my spiritual journey, and on my personal development journey, all of that, because I had such an internal war with myself, this internal war between my head and my heart. I had become disconnected from my intuition. And the thing is that it's not that we don't hear our intuition a lot of the times, but it is the fact that our mind is telling us we shouldn't listen, that there's this disconnection between our heart and our mind, which is putting us into old patterns, our mind, which is fearing what is ahead, our mind, which is feeding us with such negative dialogue when we aren't conscious of the fact that we hold power over what our mind is feeding us. And that was a big part of my journey, was the moment I realized that my head and my heart, there is this disconnection. 1 second, I'm gonna sneeze maybe. Oh, okay, it passed. But that moment when you don't sneeze, oh, I would have rather just sneezed. But yes, a big moment in my journey was when the fact that had become conscious to the fact that there was a disconnection between my mind and my heart. And I remember writing affirmations of what I wanted to manifest. And I remember writing that I want to hear God's voice within me, that I want to reconnect with my intuition, that I want to lead with that voice of God within me. Because that is how I view intuition. I view intuition as that voice of God within us, as that whisper of God within us that is leading us and guiding us to our highest potential, that is leading us and guiding us to our authenticity, that is leading and guiding us in love in all moments. It is just a matter of if we are listening to it, if we are listening to it or not. And what I've noticed is a lot of the times, like I mentioned, it is not the fact that we don't hear this voice. It is the fact that we lack the foundations within us to believe in that voice, to believe in ourselves, to feel that we are worthy of what this voice is telling us, to feel that we have the courage within us to go after this this whisper of our intuition, of what our intuition is guiding us. So a lot of the times it is not about not hearing it. It is knowing what it's telling us to do, and yet we lack feeling that we can. And that's why a big part of that is reconnecting, is moving your consciousness from your head to your heart, to not fall into such analysis, because that is how I lived most of my life, was in the state of analysis in my head, where all of my energy was placed up here in my head, thinking, instead of thinking and planning and trying to control and trying to just control everything, instead of breathing into and surrendering to my intuition, breathing into my body and connecting with my heart and seeing and just trusting that, without needing all the evidence right away that I'm being led in the proper and correct way. And it does take a lot of building that muscle of self trust within yourself. And like I mentioned, that's why a foundation is building that trust with yourself, is building that trust and connection with your heart. And now I feel called to read a poem that's in my book. And I love that I have my poems that I wrote during my journey because they remind me of moments that I was in my head and wasn't rooted in my heart, where my consciousness was fully in my head and not in this divine essence of my heart. And so I love having my books. There was a bug. So I love having my books and my poetry to be able to remind me of my own journey, and then also be able to tell you guys that journey and share my story and share what helped me in order for it to help you. And yes, so let me read. I wanted to see if you can see the sunset. It's not pink yet, but I hope it's going to be pink. Hopefully, it's going to be pink and match my book. Okay. I live inside my head. Conversations that were never spoken, ideas that were never created, passions that were never tried, love that was never shown. I need to get out of my head and live in the world outside. So we can get stuck in just living in our head. And when we're stuck in just living in our head, there is this disconnection between our head and our heart, because our heart will lead us to take steps and take actions. But when we're just in our heart and we fear, and we're in this fear and not in the essence of our heart, we won't necessarily take the actions and create the life of our dreams, because, like I said, we lack the foundations of feeling that we are worthy of following what our intuition is guiding us. And a lot of the times, it's not even these big things that our intuition is telling us to do. Sometimes it's the smallest things of trusting yourself and feeling that you are worthy of maybe saying that you don't want to do something in a certain moment, of feeling worthy that you feel like your intuition is telling you to go on a walk, so you go on this walk. And you never know what idea might spark inside your intuition on that walk, or what might occur and might happen, or who you might meet on this walk. You truly never know. And so that's why even the smallest intuitive hits like that are so important to follow, because they are what are guiding you towards this bigger vision and this bigger potential that God does have for you. And it starts with building that muscle with those small little steps. And I want to read another poem because it was a beautiful thing happened today. Was I like haven't read a poem in a while on like my Instagram and my TikTok, and even on here, like just a short video with my poetry. And so I took out my book and I was like, let me just open up to a random page and see what poem I land on. And it was literally the words, move your consciousness from your head to your heart. And I was like, that is crazy, because this idea for me to record this came in the morning. And I was like, that is just beautiful confirmation. And so I want to read it for you guys, even though you might have seen it, because I also posted it on my YouTube, or even if you follow me on Instagram. Let's see. I finally found the poem, and this is it. My ego tried to protect me, filling me with fear and envy, pushing me to act right away as I must succeed, or holding me back as there was no way I would succeed, filling me with thoughts of unworthiness while simultaneously putting my beliefs on a pedestal. Holding such control over my life, my ego for so long did what it thought it must to keep me safe. But it is time for my ego to rest, to no longer live off the need to protect my soul, as I move my consciousness from my head to my heart and begin to listen to my heart, allowing love to protect me. And on my journey, it was so important for me to move my consciousness from my head to my heart. Like, that felt so important to me because I felt myself being rooted in just such a war between my mind and my heart. And that internal war is, it keeps you away from your internal freedom. Because when you're at war with what your mind is saying, but you feel you're in your heart, you want to do something else, but in your mind you're saying you can't, or you're limiting yourself, you're not allowing yourself the freedom to follow your heart, then you're not living in true freedom in your life. Then you're not going after your heart and living in the purest way that God has destined for you, in a feeling of worthiness, in a feeling of love, in a feeling of authenticity, in a feeling of expansion, because your mind is limiting you in those moments. And that is also when I wanted to write my books, I felt the intuitive pull, the intuitive whisper of God to go out and share, but my mind would had this battle and internal war with me. Am I worthy of doing this? What will other people think? It was this war between my heart calling me, and my higher self calling me, and God calling me, and my mind and ego wanting to protect me because it was unknown, because there was fear. But I knew it was to move my consciousness from my head to my heart was such an important step. And that's what I invite you with in this video, to see where you are moving truly from your heart, and where you are falling into that control of your mind and not rooted in that essence of your heart, because it is a beautiful place to create from your heart. And this does not mean that I'm hating on the mind. I love my mind too. And I love being able to use my mind for intelligence. My mind is beautiful. I love my mind. But I love my mind when it is in connection with my heart. When my heart is leading me, and my mind is serving also me and my heart, but not when there is this internal hell and war in my mind that is keeping me disconnected from my heart. So I invite you into connecting your heart, and letting your intuition whisper you. And with that being said, I am announcing another masterclass. I just had, oh my gosh, this bug. I'm sorry. Over there, it looks pink in the sky. I want it to be pink, but we'll see. Yes, I'm announcing another masterclass. I know I just did one this week. It was called The Magical Essence of Courage. And if you didn't join it live, you can still join and watch the recordings. You can find that link down below. And this masterclass that came to me is called God's Whisper. And it's truly for those people that feel that God is whispering something in their heart. There's this whisper of this intuitive hit, but they fear going after it. They fear, and their mind is pulling them away from truly following and hearing that divine whisper of God. And if you prefer the word universe or higher source, use that. But I love the word God. And so I invite you to that. It's going to be, the live sessions will be June 25th and 26th. And if you're watching this after that, click the links down below, see if you can still join and buy the recordings. But for now, June 25th and June 26th. I just have to mention that because, YouTube pushes these videos all like it's evergreen content. So I just want to make sure that everyone is on page, and I'm on page with you guys, and you guys are on page with me. But yes, June 25th and 26th will be the live recordings. And yeah, I'm excited about all these master classes that I'm doing, because I genuinely want them to lead you to your potential and activate you, and just allow you to uncover this internal freedom you have in being the artist of your life and creating from an empowered place, because that is where I found true liberation and freedom in my life, and allowed this internal war within me to settle, was when I unlocked those potentials within me and began creating my life from an empowered place. So I want to share that all with you guys. So yes, you can find the link to that down below. You can also find the link to my poetry book, I Saw You in the Sunset, down below. It is for anyone who forgot that they are loved. So that also perfectly ties into this topic of moving your consciousness from your head to your heart, because uncovering yourself to be loved is a very major step in that, is remembering about the love that you are. And this book also really focuses on the battle between the mind and the heart, and just the internal war you can have in your mind when you are disconnected from the divinity of your love and your true essence. So yes, I think I said everything I wanted to say. And we don't have a pink sunset, but we do have a pink sunset in my book. So hopefully I'll record another day when there is a pink sunset, because the sunset here is so beautiful. But yes, have a beautiful and lovely rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. So like, comment, subscribe to become part of this soul family. Have a beautiful, beautiful and wonderful and lovely super day today. Bye. Hello guys, so I knew there would be a sunset that's beautiful, so I need to show you guys. Literally, I'm watching the USA versus Australia game right now, and like, look, I have to show you guys because it's so beautiful.